Rev up your engines!
Well, electric car companies are really lowering their lease prices because they can't give the things away. Get this, both the Fiat 500e and the Subaru Solterra, you can now lease them for less than $300 a month because they got to get those things off of the showroom floor. Nobody wants them, right? Fiat cut the 2024 500e, their electric car, 35% over the previous month. That's a big cut, right? And Subaru trimmed $50 off of theirs from their zero down lease. You're not even putting it down on the Fiat. You got to put money down, but on the Subaru, you don't even have to put money down, right? I'm not a fan of electric cars, but it's showing you how cheap they can get. Let's say you want to buy the vehicle. Listen to this. In the Solterra, you can have a 3-year lease with an option to buy at the end of the lease for $20,000. So, if you have your monthly payments of $279 and you add it to a buyout of $20,390, that would be $30,434. And that's $15,786 below the MSRP. Even if you're going to buy it at the end, it's cheaper than buying it in the beginning. Why are they doing this? They're doing it because they can't get rid of these stupid electric cars, and they'll do anything to get them out of their hair. Anyway, get them out of here. Get them out of here fast. Get them out of here, right? The Fiat 500e, they had to stop production in Italy because nobody was buying the stupid things. They got them piled up. They don't know what to do with them. So they're getting lower and lower prices. Now, I'd never advise buying a Fiat 500e. Now, if you do want to try an electric car, why not the Subaru Solterra? Subaru and Toyota are working together on electric cars now, so I'm assuming their quality is going to be much better than the crap that Fiat makes. So, thinking about getting an electric car, hey, if you can get one for $279 a month with no down payment, hey, why not try one out? If you like it, buy it. If you don't, give it back to them. But that's how sad these people are. They're in a sad situation. I know people who lease relatively inexpensive brand new cars. They're paying $500 a month for a gasoline car. And in this case, $279 a month. If you're thinking about getting an electric car, maybe try one of these Subarus out. They're still having a hard time. Nobody wants the electric cars, but they got to do it to try to get them off of their lots because nobody's buying them. And they got to pay the monthly payment every month if it sits on a lot until it's sold. Right, so Geico is canceling some Cybertruck insurance. Now Progressive is starting to deny new coverage. Now Progressive gave some interesting ideas why. And one of the main reasons is they are so expensive to repair, and often they're unrepairable if they get in a medium-sized wreck. And that's because of the way Tesla is making his vehicles. He has this gigapress where he makes a large portion of the car, the bottom, the frame, in a one-piece aluminum mold. Press it in, comes out, right? So that's one piece and it's aluminum. If that piece breaks, you pretty well junk the car because the whole car is bolted onto that, and if it breaks, you cannot really repair. Aluminum frames are almost unrepairable. Ask any good body man. They'll tell you if an aluminum frame's broke, you junk the car. Audi's had aluminum frames for decades now. And when the frame goes, the car goes. I've met people who bought wrecked Audis with the frames broken, and they thought, oh, we'll get some guy to fix it, and then we'll make money. Everybody that did that really got screwed over because they found out you can't fix the car, and then, well, we'll sell it for parts. Well, how many people are buying an engine or transmission for an expensive Audi? Hardly anybody, right? Other than mechanics that are fixing cars, and mechanics are notorious. They're going to pay the smallest amount of money they possibly can for an engine or a transmission, so you're not going to get much money for it. Well, the problem with these aluminum parts, especially when they're cast as one unit, when they break, goodbye vehicle, you just totaled them. And of course, being a Tesla, if the battery gets damaged, often they'll total the vehicle because of the cost to fix it with the other damage that's done to the car. I've seen Teslas around here in Rhode Island to get in a relatively minor wreck that might have cost, I don't know, $4,500 to fix if it was a Toyota or a Ford or a Chevy. But they totaled the car because the battery got dented and then the motor got broken on the front wheel. Nice looking cars, hardly any miles, 30,000, 40,000 miles on them, but they totaled them because they know it costs too much money to fix it because of the inherent design flaws. Elon's making them cheaper with his giant press. Oh, we don't need all these processes. We got this giant stamp piece, and it's great for building them, but for fixing them, it's terrible. And the insurance company's like, we don't want to have to pay out $80,000, $70,000 every time one of these stupid things gets in a medium-sized wreck. Well, Tesla's supposed to be rolling out information on their robo-taxi, right? But already information has leaked out saying, in quotes, this will take a long time to ramp up. Okay, we've had so many promises from old Elon over the years. Go back to what he said 10 years ago. None of it came to fruition, right? Now he's going to have these robo-taxis that theoretically are going to cost less than $80,000. You know, that's not going to be the case either. And they're just going to drive themselves around. They're not going to have steering wheels and brakes. They'll be totally automatic. Nobody behind the wheel. Yeah, dream on, Elon. Dream on. Oh, it's going to replace everything. It's going to be revolutionary. No, it isn't, because it's not going to exist. The problems that Waymo and Cruise have, just seeing all of a sudden he's going to come out with this thing and people are going to buy him and they're going to be driving around. Let me tell you, the first time one of those things kills somebody, if they gets out, they're going to be sued up the wazoo. That will be the end of that entire fiasco idea, cars driving people around by themselves. Why they get so carried away with it is beyond me. People make a living driving Uber, Lyft, taxi cabs, right? Why you want to take these people's jobs away and have a machine do it? There's already zillions of machines people using. All of a sudden, everyone's going to buy a brand new one of these things. Electric self-driving cars, they're going to make money on it. Yeah, they're going to run into things. Who's going to maintain them? What's going to happen when they get a flat tire? Well, the robot's going to fix itself? Of course it's not going to. There are so many problems with this scheme, on top of they don't do self-driving all that well to begin with. His stock goes up when he talks about it. Just shows how stupid people are. They'll believe anything. Oh, it's the future. Yes, let's invest our money. And then when your money's gone in the future, you'll wonder, yeah, maybe that wasn't such a good idea. Well, the United States just fired up their first gigantic hydrogen generator that is going to be able to do 3 tons of hydrogen a day. They claim it's totally green, that it's using solar power, wind power, and stuff to create hydrogen. Now, this so high cal, you know, it's in California project, is creating hydrogen green. Most of the hydrogen today is just produced from petrochemicals, are just hydrogen and carbon in various different configurations. So there's a lot of hydrogen there. You just have to break the bonds, which are pretty strong bonds. So most of the hydrogen used today is what they call dirty hydrogen. Now, this first stage that they have now, it does 1 ton of hydrogen a day. Well, if you would understand how many tons of hydrogen were needed to power, and of course, most of our stuff doesn't use hydrogen, we'd have to change all that too. Now, they're using biogas to create it, right? Well, there's only a limited amount of biogas out there to begin with. And they're now doing 1,000 tons a day. You need an awful lot of these things, right? They say it's sustainable now. It's green, right? But that's because it's at a small level. They're never going to be able to get that much biogas. The truth of everything is, if you're making a product, you have to have the raw materials, then turn it into your product. There isn't that much biogas lying around. Now, they claim by 2025 they're going to use solar power to do it. Who knows if that's going to be able to be done or not, and what level of efficiency that would be, and how many tons they could actually produce. And of course, hydrogen is different than the system we're using today, so everything would have to be radically changed around. We're having enough problem trying to get cars work with batteries and electricity. We already have electricity. Another source of energy that there isn't enough of it, and they just started making it. It's going to be a long time, if ever, that hydrogen is going to be a fuel that should look at Shell. They had hydrogen stations in California. They shut them all down. Not economically viable, they said. Yeah, they can make some stuff. Maybe it'll be used for a few things here or there, but it's not going to be a main source of energy for us unless things radically change in the future, and we're talking decades from now, too. Well, American Airlines is fighting this company that has a popular hack of you book a flight somewhere, but you got a layover somewhere else, and you just get off at the layover and go that way, because you can get cheaper tickets that way. American Airlines is suing this company called Skipleg that books such flights. Now, as far as I'm concerned, isn't that too bad? The heck with American Airlines. Look, let's say you want to go to a smaller place, and you find out, gee, the flights from my city to that small place cost too much money. But for some bizarre reason, the flights to Los Angeles or maybe Las Vegas are a lot cheaper. So you just get off the plane, right? I don't see anything wrong with that. They're ripping us off, charging too much money to go to small towns. But if you go to a big town, it's cheaper, and it's stopping in the middle. Why not get off? Hey, as far as I'm concerned, that's your own right. Do whatever you want. They're trying to rip everybody off going to the smaller places. And of course, they're inconvenience you if you're going to the large place, because you got to stop in 1 or 2 little places before you get there. Well, heck, if they're going to charge so much money to go to the little places, yeah, buy the big flight and get off and leave. I don't see anything wrong with that at all. The thing I think that's wrong is they're ripping people off. If you can get a ticket to go much further, cheaper than a closer one, but it stops in a closer one, hey, and this company figured out how to set it up for people, think they should be able to do it. The heck with American Airlines. Hey, if they're making you stop in a city, the heck with them. That's what I say. So if you never want to miss another one of my new car repair videos, remember to ring that bell.